Okay, cool. I got a few minutes today, so let's do an update. From last time, or where we left off, I was busy testing a bunch of these grippers, trying to find what works, and I ended up with this design. I think it looks pretty clean. So clean that I don't want to expand it out into something like this, which looks like a mess. So this is V1, just a recap. Redesigning it because it sucks. The bits are too close, it's hard to grip, and it's hard to organize. So I thought maybe I'll redesign on a very small box here and see if I like it. So play around with the feel of it. And if I'm happy, then I'll expand it. But I'm actually so happy I'm considering it, just keep it like this. And why it's so clean is that instead of having a gripper on top of instead of having something like this, where I have the gripper and then something to keep the gripper on top, then I slot things like so. I done away with this and figured out a way to just slot the gripper directly in via a tongue and groove system, which is on the side here. So I'll just take this apart, and so this is with a 0.2 millimeter tolerance. I widen it for this one, but you can see that I have slots here, and here are the tongues, and these are the grooves. Pretty simple. Now I widen it because, if you haven't caught it already, also made the tolerances a bit wider, so it's just easier to install. But I widen it because of this. So even with bits in, I'm afraid that this will just fold up. So with this model, I've kept I had a tongue and groove system near the edge, so it keeps it pretty flush. This has an unintended consequence of making the design look a lot better. So despite the spacing between bits on both these designs to be the same, this, what is this, top for you? This top one is, it's nice. It looks far more spacious, and this looks crowded. Just visually, it's really interesting, just adding a border. That's why I mostly wanted to talk about today. It's just this, just adding a border to the design, it's very powerful, visually. So I thought that was kind of cool, even though it has a functional benefit there. Now, the unfortunate bit, I tried different things too. So I thought having a topper where I can just push in. So I'll have a bunch of holes, and then I just push in this topper into so. Would work, but unfortunately with printing, as we're printing molten plastic, small circles or small details, you get a lot of stringing and artifacts here. So that prevents it from essentially fitting into small holes. So just actually having a tongue and groove system is very clean. Also, because this is printed on the print bed, you don't really see, like, it looks very, very clean. So you don't have like these layer lines like that. Is that a layer line? I guess the way the print head is just like printing line by line. So this is the bottom piece and facing the bed. So because it's printing the grooves here on the top here, let's just remove it. So it'll be easier to see. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, so here you can see this looks a little bit rough because it's printing like so. And since it's like a very simple like tongue and groove, there are no like stringing or weird artifacts that you get there. And then you flip it on top like that, and then you have a pretty clean layer, a pretty clean design. So this is the top, this is the bottom, and then you're just putting the bottom on the top. That makes it kind of nice. So adding a little space. So I guess a couple things is just having the bottom to be the visual piece when possible. So what people could see, try and have it printed upside down. If assuming it's a flat piece, and adding a border creates a lot of space, like visually. Like this looks much better than this. One more thing. So because one of the use cases for me is I attach this to a wall control board, which requires like some sort of mounting solution here. Instead of like expanding this out, I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just solve it with magnets. So I could either glue or embed the magnets in, and so forth, and then have this attached to, let's assume this is a wall control board. It'll just sit like that. And whenever I want to remove it, I'll remove it. Now this led to other design decisions. So unfortunately, or fortunately, I won't need the topper. So if we better show this with this. So here we have very wide tolerances for the bits. They don't stay. Now if we add a magnet behind it, it stays, which is kind of cool. And attaches to our, like a magnetic board, and you can see it stays just fine too. Well, never do live demos of that. So obviously this will need about 9 magnets. Magnets are pretty cheap, so it's going to add about $2 to the part costs, and to print one of these things is about 50 cents anyway, so it's about $2.50. It's fine. How many magnets are necessary? Maybe one per bit. If it's that would be like making it $2 per magnet's about 20 cents Canadian here. So, but it leads to an unfortunate bit of, if you add a topper, the feel changes significantly. So let's add this magnet. Of course, to move these magnets away. Here we go. Okay, we put it on the side. Yeah, it's just, it's all right. Let's move this magnet out. But this makes it, this has like a balloon effect, which I kind of like. A little bit of a suction, so it feels better without a magnet. With a topper or a rubber gripper. But if I take one of these magnets here, and without the rubber gripper, I like this the best. It's very easy. Put it in, clanks. I can live without the clank. But you know when it's in. Like it just pulls from you. I think it's cool. So this would simplify the design a bit more, even though it makes it a bit uglier. So yeah, okay. That's it for today.